Live. Oh, by the way, did you guys see this bullshit? Whatever, whatever. All right. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. We are the we are the Keyboard Warriors. My name's Eddie Law. That's Fred Kirby. That's just Bacava. Real quick, shout out to Dave Madden. I got my my NorCal shirt. All right.
Hey.
Ordered that shit as soon as it came out. Support people that are good people. Support people that support you. So shout out Dave Madden. Got my shit. All right, ladies and gentlemen. So coming off UFC 225. First of all, let's just talk about the numbers real quick. So the New York Times, the LA Times, one of those. I think the LA Times came out with a number of 150,000 buys for this paper. Under 150,000 buys, which is pretty fucking bad considering how stacked the card was. But on top of that, the fact that they brought in CM Punk on the main card and Dana White cited him as the reason why his card was going to do well. Fuck no. If those are real numbers. By the way, and who knows? It's too early to get legit numbers on the pay-per-view, so pump the brakes. But if this is any indication, it's not going to be good. You know what I'm saying? But what do you attribute that to there, Fred? What do you think? Why do you think it allegedly did so bad?
Okay, well, I would say there's a couple things at hand here, man. Maybe Joe Public isn't fucking as stupid as we thought. Seriously, I mean, apparently CM Punk getting that ass whooped by Mickey Gall did something. Because he did used to be able to pull numbers, and apparently now he did not pull numbers. Or a lot of motherfuckers are streaming it or something. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know exactly what happened, but clearly he is not the draw they thought they were. So let's go to the main event. Robert Whitaker and Yoel Romero. We all already knew that that wasn't going to be exactly the draw that they thought it was going to be. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So I mean, look, at the end of the day, what this tells me is who they thought were kind of stars are not, and CM Punk is definitely not a draw anymore at all. As far as pay-per-view goes, maybe if you put him on real TV or cable TV, he might pull some numbers. But as far as people paying money to see him fucking fight, and after what just happened, it's safe to say that that goddamn boat has sailed, Jack. Like 6 people are going to pay to see his next fight.
Dude, it sailed hard, dude. Like it was like fucking. It was first of all, it was an embarrassing fucking fight to watch. Both ways, by the way. Both. I mean, look, I didn't like Mike Jackson's way of fighting. Like he could have finished that fucking fight. Which I mean, just we were talking about it before the show started. Like he could have finished that fucking fight. Like he should have finished it. But Jesse, you told me that on the show on the Noses show, he was talking about he didn't want to hurt him or something.
Yeah, he said he didn't want to hurt the guy, give him too much damage, blah, blah, blah. Well, first off, Fred, I'm ready to accept your apology because you said there was going to be no blood in that fight. So go ahead. I want to hear the apology.
Oh,
let's hear it.
I say a lot of crazy shit on this show, so I apologize. I probably did say that. Now, listen, motherfucker did take a beating. Well, I'll give him that.
Can we all at least agree that the winner in that fight was CM Punk in the sense that he showed that he has the heart, not the skills. He shouldn't be in the UFC. He shouldn't be on the main card. He should be nowhere near television at this point, but he has heart. He was in there. He took a beating. He didn't stop. Good on him, but we're done with this, right?
I mean, look. Yeah, you're right for sure. But I mean, to be honest, did anybody ever really doubt his heart? I mean, keeping it all real, I never doubted his heart. I mean, the dude wouldn't go to the gym. He fought the first fight. He wanted. I mean, I always thought the dude would get after it. I didn't think he'd get hit in the nose and go, "Oh my god."
No, but I mean, what? Who's the one that says the famous quote of like, sleeping in satin sheets makes you not want to work hard, or whatever that quote is that I butchered.
I don't quite think that's the fucking quote. You probably butchered it, but yeah, I catch the drift.
But you know what I'm saying? He's a guy that has the resources and the money to not have to do this. You know, well, he's not a Gall. He's not a Mike Jackson. You know,
that's exactly why. That's exactly why I figured. Jesus fucking Christ! That's exactly why I kind of thought that he would have. Like, look, he ain't got to be there in the first place. You know what I'm saying? Like, for him to even go through this, clearly he's got some fucking stones on him at the very least. It sucks that he's a very, very bad fighter. And while we're admitting shit, can we all just go ahead and admit that motherfucking CM Punk would have took a major L if he would have fucking booked this fight with Daddy Fred? I mean, can we all just not laugh at me no more? I ought to beat the shit out of Mickey Gall. Let's be, or fucking Mickey Gall. My bad. Mickey Gall beat the shit out of me. My bad. My bad. I'm stoned. CM Punk, I'll beat your fucking ass. I'll beat the shit out of CM Punk for sure. That shit is not debatable no more.
Oh, 100%. Dude, look. Yeah, go ahead.
No, I was gonna say, can we now book Fred Curry against Mike Jackson?
Listen. I'll take that fight. I'll take that. He'd be a little rough about time. Hey, listen, I'll tell you this. I bet you he don't do what he did against CM Punk, goddammit. I bet you he don't play with me like that. Giving me bolo punches in the belly. Get the fuck out of here. I'll fucking cheat and kick him in the face before I let him disrespect me like that on TV. Bet you I would. I'd cheat and kick that motherfucker right in the jaw. Whoopsie daisy. Motherfucker, you ain't celebrating no more, are you? Bolo punches.
Can I just say, I had a friend over that he's a casual fan. He's one of the casual fans. And it was embarrassing because, he busted his knee not too long ago and everything. And he was like, man, I told him, yeah, you with your crippled ass could probably beat both of them. And he's like, yeah, I probably could. One-legged, I'd beat the hell out of those two guys. It was definitely like the worst showing for the UFC. And I don't know if maybe like the UFC pay-per-view started good and people got to seeing or hearing about what was happening in that fight and they're just like, nope. But I just think there's a lot of factors, like Fred said, on why this pay-per-view card took such a big hit.
Look, at the end of the day, we said that this was a very stacked card. I think when we said that, we were speaking from the perspective of super hardcore fans, because now that you look back at it, at the end of the day, who was the biggest quote-unquote star on this card? You could argue that it was, in fact, CM Punk, maybe Holly Holm, but you can only fucking stand on that fucking Ronda win for so long, dog. I don't think hundreds of thousands of people are buying pay-per-views to see Holly Holm, all due respect. And who the fuck? And look, at the end of the day, yeah, Holly Holm sells when she's fighting Cyborg or some other name that we recognize. Nobody knows who the fuck Megan Anderson. We don't even know how to say her fucking name right. And we are hardcore fans, for Christ's sakes. Like, nobody really knew, you know what I mean? Like Joe B and Sergio Pettis. And yeah, these cats are names to us, but in the grand scheme of things, it wasn't no stars on this card. Like, I think as hardcore fans, we get hyped for shit that is different. Like, you know what I mean? Than what the mainstream is going to pay attention to. Hindsight is 2020, but looking back on it, if CM Punk wasn't, you know what I mean? The fact that he wasn't who we thought he was hurt the shit out of this card.
All right, so let me ask you this question, Fred. Should the UFC take a cue from Bellator and how Bellator does their thing of like putting their star, however ridiculous that main event is going to be, hence the Dada 5000 or whatever fight with Kimbo Slice. Do you think that should be the route that the UFC should look at now, of putting your biggest star way at the top and then filling the bottom card where people are still going to see it? That way they have to watch everything leading up to the main event. Do you think that's something that they should look at?
It depends on who that main event is. It depends on who the star at the top of the tree is. You know what I'm saying? Like, listen, it's hard to compare Bellator and the UFC because Bellator works on TV. Shit, I watch Bellator all the time because why the fuck wouldn't I? It's free. I'm already paying for that punk-ass cable package, so I might as well watch it. The UFC forces me to actually put out money. Two completely different worlds. I mean, the strategy and the idea seems like a good idea, but again, that also works on, this ain't the WWE, man. Who's hurt, who's not hurt, like, all these things play in. In the ideal world, sure, you want to put some type of carrot at the end of the fucking stick to keep us watching. But sometimes, let me look at Yoel Romero and Robert Whittaker, man. It was a great fight on paper. It was a great fight in every sense of the word. But because of whatever thing, they didn't sell a lot. Now, listen, Colby Covington didn't draw what he should have drawn this time, but he will next time.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean?
So do you think the real winner of this card is going to end up being Tyron Woodley?
Yeah.
Seeing as how now he's going to be able to cash in on – I guess the downside of RDA, RDA basically gave up his shine to, Colby Covington. And now at least people understand that Colby Covington is for real, even though I said that before the fight. And now people are going to realize that this is a fight that they actually want to see. They want to see Colby Covington get blasted by, the African American fighter, against the white Trump loving interim champ. So is Tyron Woodley now the best, walking over to Uncle Dana and going, pay me?
Eddie, take this. I gotta make a call, so I'm gonna mute it. Take this, but I'm after you.
Okay. So explain what you're asking. Who the winner is? You think Tyron Woodley is the biggest winner?
Yeah, because think about it. Let's look at the political aspect of this. What's about to happen? You have Colby Covington, who has stated that he's going to go to the Trump White House, present Trump with his championship belt, because that's what a real American should do. And you have a guy in Tyron Woodley who is from some of the most, harshest places. He's been through a lot. He's spoken out about, racism in the UFC.
Right.
And now he's going to fight basically the poster boy for Trump's America, So do you think that Tyron Woodley is now, the biggest winner out of this card?
I think Tyron Woodley is, no, I think Colby Covington is the biggest winner, but I think Tyron Woodley's happy as shit that Colby Covington won. If RDA wins, it's like, oh, it's great. We get Tyron Woodley against RDA. RDA is like, I respect this guy, but I'm going to take his belt. Colby Covington is like, fuck you, Tyron Woodley. Fuck Ferguson. Fuck St. Louis. Fuck Missouri. Fuck everybody, not me. You know what I mean? Anybody that's not me can go fuck themselves. I'm going to fucking, belt over to Trump and all this shit. We always talk about, and I said this on the Periscope pre-fight show or pre-show show. Fucking, we've always talked about how Mighty Mouse needs a McGregor of sorts, right? How McGregor did great things for Jose Aldo for the fact that Jose Aldo was whooping everybody, and then McGregor comes out and talks a big payday into both their pockets, right? This is Tyron Woodley's Conor McGregor. Not the same caliber fighter, not the same caliber talker, but it makes you want to see Tyron Woodley fight. You know why? Two things. One, you want to see Colby Covington go in there and back up all his shit talk. Or two, you want to see Tyron Woodley hit Colby Covington so hard his head goes up to the 10th fucking row. Either way, Tyron Woodley gets paid. He wins. So I would say Covington and Tyron Woodley both came out the biggest winners of this card. But Tyron Woodley, please believe Tyron Woodley was like, oh my God, yes, my fight's actually gonna matter. He might headline. Like Tyron Woodley might headline a pay-per-view.
Yeah, he will. Like you actually just nailed it too, man. I mean, look, I agree. I definitely do think that Tyron Woodley was the biggest winner. Like he is going to come out of this with the biggest fight for sure. Now, obviously, Colby Covington was the biggest winner on the card that competed that night, but Tyron, by proxy, definitely benefited the most. And you just nailed it, Eddie. Think about all of our most favorite fighters. They all had a rivalry. Fucking Frazier had Ali. Fucking Chuck had Tito. You can keep doing this. Like everybody has somebody. Even Fedor had Minotauro Nogueira. That was when things really turned. Like everybody needs that other guy. Anderson had Chael. We all liked Anderson, but after Chael, it was a whole different thing. You're absolutely right. It's a completely side topic, but Mighty Mouse definitely needs a Colby Covington or a Chael Sonnen or a Tito Ortiz. He needs somebody to increase his shit. And Colby Covington is perfect for Tyron Woodley right now. You couldn't have wrote it better. The fact that one's white, supports Trump in this country. Let's hope we don't fucking burn the whole country down behind this shit. But it'll be fucking fun at the very least. Now, that being said, I was watching Luke Thomas's live chat a couple hours ago today, and somebody had brought up the topic of, Colby being this Trump guy now. How far will he push it? And what if he starts pushing into race? We've already seen, shit that happened with Roseanne. These are volatile times. I'll pose two questions to you guys. A, do you think that Colby will go there? We all know Colby's being cute, but will he, try to go there with African Americans? And B, if he does go there in any kind of cute way, do you think the UFC will fucking, reprimand him for it?
Yeah, I'll take it first. Look, he already took it on Brazil, right? Filthy animals.
Yeah, but black people in America right now, Jack, is way different than that.
Right. If you go after that group and call them filthy animals or anything derogatory, you're asking for it. Like,
I mean,
big
majorly,
time.
right?
Yeah, big time. So if I'm the UFC, I'm like, hey, look, dude, we know your style. Attack him personally all day if you want to. Doesn't matter. Shit on Ferguson, shit on St. Louis and how much he sucks, and shit on him and everything he's ever done and anyone fought. Fine. Do not go after race. If you go after race, something's gonna happen, or we're gonna have to find a way to clean this up PR wise, right? And let's say he does do that and they let him do it. Okay, he wins that fight, it's not good. He loses that fight, it's worse. You know what I mean? Like, for him anyway. Like, it's really bad for him. Because look, there's already fighters at ATT that won't train with him, apparently. According to him, he said it, right? A lot of guys, Brazilian dudes. Yeah, Brazilian dudes at ATT that won't train with him because of what he said about Brazil. You said it about black people. You're like, shit, man, you better watch your ass. Like, you're talking about a people that's mainly on another continent.
But
there's a lot of people here that can come touch you.
But here's the thing, though.
Okay.
I'll say this. If you're Colby Covington and your goal is to get as much exposure as possible, why not?
Ooh,
and like, can you tell me why not? Because then, what have we always talked about? A lot of black fans are not fans of the UFC because they feel that they're not catered to. There's not somebody that they could really look at. You know, Mighty Mouse, he's not really a thug, like we said before. Tyron Woodley kind of has a little bit of it in him, but it just comes off kind of whack, right? It's not natural. John Jones was the one that was kind of getting there, you know, doing the blow, the hookers, all that stuff. But now he's not even fighting right now. So I think if Colby Covington goes for the race card and attacks Tyron Woodley, I think we see a big upsurge in black fans coming to support their fighter. And I think that's actually a good thing. I think we get a lot more fans. And I don't see how Colby Covington wouldn't go there.
It depends on what you mean, man. I mean, I don't know, dog. That's just touchy. Like,
it is touchy.
If he uses a racial slur or if he fucking compares somebody to a monkey or some shit like that, Jack, like, I mean, yeah, it might. I don't know, man. This is a different thing. I dig what you're saying. And to a degree, I think his best bet, instead of trying to do that, would just be to really play up the Trump end on his end, because that's going to get you the racist angle anyways. I think if he fucking like says something or tweets something really fucking crazy, I think the UFC will reprimand him greatly. So depending, like if he gets fucking crazy and does something really fucking stupid, I can see the UFC letting him out of this fight.
You're right. But I think that what we know from Colby and the way he does everything, it's very scripted, it's very thought out. True. And I think he's smart enough to know how to jab at Tyron Woodley and his race and everything in a way that he probably won't get in trouble, but he'll piss off a lot of people. And I think you're right. I think if he crosses the line, then that's a big problem, especially because you were saying, you know, now the UFC is owned by Endeavor. They're an entertainment company. You know, they don't want that kind of, you know, stink on them. But I think if he does it in the right way, I think this could be a very big fight, a very, very big fight.
It's going to be big regardless by our, you know, look, 150,000, right? Standards these days ain't what they used to be in MMA, Jack. I think it'll beat that by a long shot. So.
Yeah. No, look, real quick, shout out to everyone in the chat. Uncle Hank, Joey Tremendous is here. MMA Pixel says Al versus Justin Gaethje, #real news. It's going to be a fucking baller fight. In the Hardcore MMA show, our boy Jeremiah says Colby needs some new material. He does, but it's working. I mean, it's working.
Yeah,
look,
it's working.
Here's the thing. Do I think he's going to fucking go there? I think he's going to toe the line. I think he's going to be like fucking right. His right sneaker is going to be like right on that line, just stepping on it. Right. And I think that would be the promotion. That'd be a smart way to go. Stepping over it would be a huge mistake. Huge mistake.
Definitely.
That I could see that canceling the fight. If he stepped over, they almost would have to. You know what I mean? In this climate that we're in, You know, you can't mistake anything. You can't say anything too crazy because there's somebody that we can kind of get crazy, great crazy. John Smith says he should call Tyron a racist. Dude, but no, he's onto something. Like,
see, that's my point.
That might work. No. But that's not being racist against black people or Tyron Woodley. That's calling Tyron Woodley a racist. That might work.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, Colby's smart enough. He has some smart people around him that he's going to be able to do this stuff pretty well. You know, kind of like his Nerd Bash thing where he spoils movies and stuff for people and stuff, you know?
Nerd Bash.
You know, it's like, it's a very intelligent way to piss people off, right? It's a sector of of people that you wouldn't normally say are fans of the sport, you know, like Avengers fans or, you know, comic book fans or Star Wars fans. Those guys aren't MMA fans, yet he's pissing them off somehow, right? I mean, he knows how to do this stuff and he's pretty smart about it. So I agree with Eddie. I think he's gonna walk that line real close and he's gonna piss off a lot of people.
And honestly, that'd be smart.
Listen,
the promotion is the way to go.
I'll give him, but before we get off of this fight, since we're just already jumping around here, I will take this time to give Colby the credit he deserves in the cage. I didn't think the cute little cocksucker had it in him. He's a pretty good fighter. Like, just speaking about his performance in the cage, I was pretty surprised, man. He came out letting his fucking hands fly. There for a moment, I thought he was going to fucking knock RDA out. Just because he was letting his fucking hands fly so much, and it seemed like RDA was kind of like, what the fuck? You know what I'm saying? And when you get a fighter thinking like that and you're willing to let him go, one thing about Colby, he is bigger than RDA. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
I got to say, man, I was super impressed with this performance. And all things being equal, it wasn't that boring. It wasn't great. Wasn't that boring.
No, I'm with you on that. I think he definitely, dude. He put on the pressure on RDA the way RDA puts pressure on everybody else. He RDA'd RDA a little bit at the beginning, and I legit thought about that. John Smith said, "Wow, John Smith going off on Tyron Woodley." He says he should call Tyron racist. That's all Tyron says, man. I'm sick of it. I'm totally sick of the race card played by Woodley. I'm just done. Who is done hearing about race from Woodley? Are you guys tired of hearing about Woodley talking about race?
I got $8 million that John's a white guy.
That's probably true.
Just saying. Bet he's a white guy.
Yeah. Look, what up?
No. I just wanted to say that I agree with Fred. Before when we made our picks, I assumed that Colby was going to be the better wrestler, and I picked him to win. But man, like the way he did it was very impressive. Colby's getting better, man, and I think a lot of people cannot comprehend that, right? That he's actually getting to be a pretty good fighter. I heard the argument that RDA won that fight, that he was robbed. I don't know about you guys, but that was almost a shutout for me in that fight. I don't know what you guys think.
What do you mean?
RDA definitely didn't win for fucking sure. What the fuck? Like, that's definitely not a thing that happened. Might have been kind of close, maybe, but RDA definitely didn't win. And look, man, as far as getting tired of Tyron Woodley like race baiting,
yeah,
maybe a little. But to be honest, I feel like he's got a little bit of a point. He just says it at the wrong times. I get what he's saying, though. I mean, look, he ain't the only one. A lot of people are sick and tired of Tyron Woodley and his mouth and his antics. But even more people are sick and tired of Colby's face. So that works out good for him all the way around.
And again, it's both sides, dude. I mean, everyone, all of these people, like everyone that's mad at Tyron Woodley for playing the race card, and everyone is mad at Colby Covington for being a douchebag. Both of these guys are making money off of this. Like, that makes sense. Like, it's good for Tyron.
Oh yeah,
for this shit to be happening. For all of us to feel that way, it's working for them, right? It's gonna get them paid. It's gonna, because everyone cares about this fight now. So, are they gonna push it up? Sure, they're both gonna push it. You know what I mean? Tyron Woodley's gonna call Colby Covington a racist. It's gonna happen. You know, Colby's going to toe that line as close as he can without stepping over it, and then come fight night, you're gonna get people tuning in to see either Tyron Woodley lose or Colby Covington get his ass whooped. Either way,
All right.
UFC wins.
All right, I got it. I'm gonna put the Eddie Bravo hat on tonight.
Here we go.
So they both used to train at the same camp, right? In Florida, ATT, right?
Right.
They're both ATT guys.
Right.
All right, so here's my conspiracy theory. Both of these guys are in on it. They're gonna talk a lot of crap to each other. Now Tyron Woodley's gonna get paid. He's gonna be a great champion, and they orchestrated this to make it to where Tyron Woodley's a big money star. Yep, that's what it is.
He's been wanting to get
pretty
paid.
cute, but I suppose somebody told RDA about that too along the way. He just went along with it.
Let's see. We got a lot of comments now. John Smith says, "I'm sorry, Fred. Do you feel he's right to keep up the race car for the past 2 years?"
Sure. Yeah. I mean, look, I don't think he plays it. I don't hear Tyron Woodley playing the race card every time I hear from the fucking guy. He played it for like a while there, but it's not. I haven't heard him say nothing like that for a while. Have you? Like recently?
No, I haven't heard him say anything about race recently. I think he did that for a while, like a decent amount of time. Then he got some pushback and he kind of cut it out.
Right. I feel like if every fucking time we heard from dude, he said something like that, it would definitely get old. But like I said, man, I feel like to a degree he's got a point. I mean, there is a little bit of that in MMA. I don't think the UFC is fucking racist. And I don't think that the reason Tyron Woodley's not a big draw is because the UFC is not promoting him properly because he's black. I do not believe that. But I do think that a large majority of the MMA fan base is white and, Trump leaning voters. I think Colby's about to get a fucking skyrocketed in popularity and Twitter followers because of what he did. And I don't think that's no fucking coinky dink. The MMA fandom and Trump ideas and views are probably, generally speaking, one and the same.
Right. And here's a good question. And real quick, let me read Jeremiah's comment. Jeremiah says, nobody wants to admit it, though, but he doesn't help himself out any either. If he was knocking fools out every fight, it would be different. Nobody would say shit. Right. His performances haven't been the best, and then he talks shit. It's like, all right, dude. And then John Smith is asking this. He goes, name one black athlete that is in the UFC ever that has pulled that card, besides Woodley. I want to say has Mighty Mouse ever said something?
No.
I don't know if nobody else has ever said anything, but that's irrelevant. That doesn't mean that it's not real. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like, I can't think of no fucking
Eves Edwards.
But man, I can't think of no big instance though. I mean, he probably just Tyron, generally speaking. But still, like, just because he's the Rosa Parks was the first broad to fucking not fucking give up her seat. So what? Fucking
right. Look, here's the thing. I'm not saying that pulling the race card is the right thing to do. If he feels that way, he feels that way. All right. He's allowed to say, he's fucking got First Amendment rights too. He can say whatever he wants. He wants to play the race card. Hey, play the race card. Here's the thing. They go back and forth. Jeremiah says Rampage has joked about it. They go. If you're gonna say something like that, you gotta be ready to take the repercussions. Just like John, for example, is like not liking Tyron Woodley because of it. Sure, but the same way that Colby's like, I'm gonna take the belt over to Trump. Hey, he's gonna take the backlash for that. You know what I mean? It's weird when someone like a fighter doesn't agree with you and then you don't like him because of it. You know what I mean?
Let's see how Tyron approaches this fight with Colby.
Right.
If he starts playing the race card heavily, then I'll revisit this conversation and probably change my tune on a little bit. If he doesn't mention it at all, then John, you're gonna change your fucking tune, my dude.
Cloud says, real quick. Cloud says people forget about Tyron opponents. They're to blame. Maya and Wonder Boy have had stinkers since fighting Woodley. True. I'm not sure.
And look. I am not a major Tyron Woodley fan. Make no mistake about it, but that's a fact. And the first fight with Wonder Boy and Tyron was magnificent.
It's great.
So, I mean, and how the fuck do you explain that, right? Those same two dudes fought within what, like a 6-month span or something? First fight, fantastic. Second fight, dog shit. What are you going to do? This ain't the WWE.
Yeah. John says Woodley's amazing, but just done with the race card. Heard it for 2 years.
Yeah.
Maybe block Tyron Woodley, dog, because I haven't heard any of that but I don't pay attention to Tyron Woodley either.
Look, I can understand when somebody just keeps hammering 1 point only, but never offers any way of solving said problem or, fixing it or even anything, but just keeps complaining about it.
Right.
It's kind of like Mighty Mouse, when he was on his rant about that he doesn't sell, they don't give him the promotional push, blah, 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 blah. But he found a way to circumvent that, and now he's on commercials. Now he's doing his own thing. Twitch. He found a way. Yeah, he found a way to find his niche in this sport and get paid. And I understand that. So I understand what he's saying. Like when you hear something over and over again and it never gets resolved, and the person never attempts to resolve said problem one way or another, you got a problem, But I mean, like you guys said, we haven't heard him say anything recently. So, I mean, we'll see how he comes out to this fight and see if he really plays up that card.
Right. The build-up is going to be interesting in this one for sure. John says, so Woodley would have fought GSP and Diaz and said no, and then took surgery instead of Kobe fight. And I'll explain why I'm not mad at him for that, because most of the time that's a negotiating tactic. Mighty Mouse just did it, right? They wanted to throw him in there with TJ, and they didn't want to pay him what he thought he was worth. And at that point, if you're going to get mad at somebody for trying to get what they're worth, that's kind of misguided, because you would do the same fucking thing at your job, right? Or your career. You don't want, if you think you're worth something, you go after it. So do I believe the Tyron needed surgery? Probably not as bad as he let on. He's probably like, look, pay me as much, this much money to fight GSP or Diaz because I know that's what I'm worth, or I'm gonna go get surgery. And they're like, we're not gonna pay you. All right, I'll take a few months off surgery, and now it's kind of gonna pay off with a Colby fight. He's gonna get money. He waited long enough. With the so I mean, Mighty Mouse is the same thing. You want to put me in there with TJ, but you don't want to pay him $1 million? Cool,
bro.
I got the shoulder thing.
Real shit. Like, and I know there'll be a lot of people out there like, oh, well, you can't just make things up and you can't just act. Let me ask y'all a question. Yeah. Real shit. Do y'all think that Colby Covington is actually anything like this persona we're seeing?
God, I don't know.
Keep in mind, his best friend is Jorge Masvidal.
That's exactly why. Jorge Masvidal, the second Jorge Masvidal thought that Colby was getting crazy, slap him.
I have interviewed Jorge Masvidal before, and I am telling you right now, that is not how Colby Covington actually is. John Jones was his roommate in college. All right.
This is Colby's roommate?
Yeah, that's a fact.
Oh,
that's a fact. Colby been talking about John fucking like using steroids and coming back into the room and being all aggressive with him and shit.
That's fucking crazy.
He told Aaron that on Stand and Bang years and years ago before Colby was anything. What the fuck?
Real quick, John's saying, I'm going to send you a new rap album. If you're talking about Woodley's new rap album, one, didn't know he had one. Two, don't send it to me. I don't want to hear garbage.
Yeah, that's definitely not that's not what I'm going for. Although that is somewhat what I'm going with here with DJ. DJ needs to start doing something other than playing Xbox.
Like what?
I don't know.
Why?
Besides fighting, by the way.
Well, yeah, exactly. Because he's got that. Okay. Look at Colby Covington, man. The dude is a prime example of what you can do if you just start kind of making some shit up.
Yeah.
To be completely honest. Like, yo, if all of a sudden tomorrow on DJ's Instagram, he pulled up in a new Bugatti with a big ass diamond fucking grill, banging some fucking gangster ass T Detroit, and just got out and said, "What's up, bitches?" Just that.
Yeah, we do it.
Alone would have motherfuckers like, no. Who is this? No. Why?
Because we've already had a history of what he is and who he is. So that would come off with
Chael Sonnen and Colby Covington too.
Wait. But we have a long history of DJ being the guy that mows his own lawn, takes his kids to the park, plays video games, talks about how, he's a nerd, blah, 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 comic books. It ain't going to work. All right. If Colby Covington had been the guy that was like, I love Jesus and, I vote Republican and blah, 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 out of nowhere, and then he flips over and he's like, I smoke weed, I do all this stuff, screw Trump's America, blah, 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 blah. It would come off so fake and we would all see through it. Kind of like DC. Remember when DC tried to get hard and try to punk John Jones? He started getting booed. Why? Because everybody saw through his fake crap. That's why I don't agree with you, Fred, just because we already know how these people are. Some of them. When we don't know how they are, and they come out with a public persona like Colby, and he turns it up, it works in the sense that we didn't really know him that well. You know what I'm saying?
A little bit, but I disagree with you because I don't think I think DJ is a lot more, maybe, I don't know, gangster than we think he is. What show is it? Is it maybe the Joe Rogan podcast? I've seen DJ on shit where DJ is talking with a potty mouth. He's talking about
Rogan's.
He's saying fuck
that. Yeah.
He's talking about getting pussy and fucking bitches. DJ ain't quite the squeaky little mouse that we all think he is.
Right.
And I feel like if he just started letting that look, same thing with John Jones, right? And I realized that when he first started turning heel, a lot of us went, "Oh man, he ain't no Christian. Look at him. He's doing coke and fucking whores, and he said he believed in Jesus." But we all came around real quick, like, fuck it. I guess he don't believe in Jesus, but now we like him. I do understand what you're saying. Mighty Mouse has the wife and the kids, but he could do something to kind of play this up a little bit. Listen, let me tell you something. One thing for sure, his fight against Henry Cejudo, I give less than two fucks about that fight. I don't give a shit about that fight at all. And it ain't just Cejudo. It's just that whole division. Well, I mean, I could care. Of course, I'll order it like a moron, but I could care less about that fight.
Okay, I understand your point. And you know what? I think that a lot of hardcore fans, quote unquote, are smoking on Dana White's dick, I think. Because everybody keeps saying, "Oh, DJ against TJ. Oh, yeah, that's going to be the fight that puts DJ over." No, it's not. Because we're going to get that fight, and DJ is going to win, and then everybody's going to make excuses for why TJ lost, why that's not so important, why he should move up and fight Dominic, why he should move up and fight somebody else at a higher division, blah, blah, blah. It's all going to be the same story, guys. I just think that if he's doing what he's doing, he's getting paid, like Eddie likes to say. Why hate on him? He's getting paid. Screw it. Let him do what he's doing, man. He's making a record of title defenses that nobody's going to come close to defeating, and he's going to be in the Hall of Fame, and hey, that's going to be his career.
And just as many people will care about that fucking record. Nobody.
Yeah, dude, I hate to admit it, but no one's going to care about this fight. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I'm not saying anybody's going to care about the fight. I'm just saying, can you imagine as a stat, right? A lot of stats of players in other places, they have good stats. And what do you go? Oh, yeah, this guy holds the record for so ever many goals or so ever many, bats or whatever, right? It's still his name is being brought up, even if he wasn't he wasn't a LeBron James, he wasn't a Michael Jordan, he wasn't this and that, but they still have a stat. And I think that's what he's going for. I understand what you guys are saying, and I feel you guys. I understand. I'm just saying I don't think he's that type of guy.
I'll tell you this, man, just to put it in perspective. Bill Russell has 11 NBA titles, but the greatest of all time is Michael Jordan with 6. It's not necessarily about numbers and stats or records. Listen, it's about, did you make an impact?
You're goddamn right, because the greatest of all time is LeBron James.
Okay, let's not get into this right now, dude. It's not.
From the OH.
Moving on.
I'll put LeBron at number 2 right now. But believe me.
Listen, I'm easy.
Give me a couple more titles. Couple more titles, and I think people start talking about it. But even then,
you realize you literally just counteracted the rule that you just implemented.
No. That wasn't a rule. I was just pointing out the fact that that's what we go with right now, right? It's impact. It's weird. Anyway, this is why I don't like talking about, because look, you can talk about who the best player or the best fighter is of all time, or you can talk about who is the best legacy, because those are two different fucking arguments. I don't give a fuck who the fuck you are. You know what I mean?
True, because when you talk about a legacy fighter, Fred, a lot of people are going to mention Anderson Silva. Yeah. A lot of people mention John Jones. Mm-hmm. A lot of people are going to mention GSP. Maybe not GSP, but like you said, Fred, people that made an impact in the sport. People still talk about Tito Ortiz.
I don't know why.
Who was not the greatest fighter in the entire universe, but yet he made an impact, like Fred said. And I understand that.
Yeah.
Yet in the end, he's not going to be a guy that people talk about on a record or anything like that. You know, that's how I feel Mighty Mouse sees it, because especially the way he acts. You know, he acts that he wants to get paid, he wants to make a record, and that's it. He's happy and content with that. Now, if you're talking to a Conor McGregor is talking about getting millions, being the #1 on the Forbes, billionaires under 30. That's a different cat. That guy doesn't care about titles. He's been stripped of 2. Does he care? Nope.
Listen, DJ, fuck what he's talking about. Get a grill, cheat on your wife, make it public, leave that broad. You're going to sell a shitload of pay-per-views behind it. Be yourself. You got plenty of money so you can support your kids. You're going to thank me for this. Leave your wife, public divorce, and a grill, and a new Bugatti.
Yeah.
Pay-per-views through the roof.
Money.
Nobody likes a clean guy, man. George St. Pierre was the only one that could pull it off. Nobody likes a squeaky clean guy. We like the John Joneses. We like the Chael Sonnens. We like a villain. DJ's too good. We need to dirty him up.
Here's a good question.
So how come Tekashi 6ix9ine isn't bigger then?
Who?
Are you fucked? You just asked me that question.
Yeah, I did.
Who is that?
Don't ruin it, Don't ruin it, goddamn.
Never mind. I'm just gonna stay out of this. I have no idea what that is. All right. Jeremiah says, what do you guys think happens when Trump meets Kobe? What the fuck? Can you imagine? I mean, really? I don't think it's. I mean, even if it does happen, like, who cares, dude? It's just fodder for the next fight.
Yes.
Trump will probably love him.
Oh no, Trump will love him for saying his name out and be like, "Hey, I'm gonna take it over there."
Trump likes MMA. He likes the UFC. He likes white people. He likes people that like him. Fucking Kobe's a shoo-in. Kobe might get a spot in office behind this shit.
And he loves winners, right? Winners. Kobe's a winner.
That's right. Goddamn kid's the champion of the world. I swear to God, you might be looking at the next vice president.
I'll say this much, though. If Tyron Woodley beats Kobe Covington, Trump's going to be like, who? Kobe who? Huh? What?
Yeah,
what?
Trump will be the first one to throw him back once he loses.
Oh, dude, easily. All right. But that's everyone in politics, by the way. If you don't think every politician ever would do that, you're wrong. Every fucking one would do it.
Bro.
But think about that. Crazy? Think about the Twitter hit.
Oh, it'd be great.
How crazy
Trump
would it be? How
tweeting
crazy
Kobe
would it be
Covington.
if Trump was at Kobe's fight?
Oh my God, dude.
If Trump was at Kobe's fight.
You know what? I hope it happens. I really do. Like, just to see the chaos. Just like the pure chaos would be amazing. All right. Fuck, we were a long time on the UFC 225. Anything else you guys want to talk about on that card?
Can I just laugh at all the people that thought Megan Anderson was going to make an impact and was a actual contender against?
How bad was that
Cyborg?
fight? How bad was that fight that a kickboxer took your ass down that many times and out grappled you? Like I give Holly Holm a lot of credit for improving. I really do. Right? But dude, how much bigger was Megan Anderson? She's huge compared to fucking Holly Holm. Couldn't use her length for shit. Kept getting clinched and taken down. I mean, it was just the perfect fucking game plan for Holly. But this is the chick we wanted to put in front of Cyborg. Like, come on, dog.
Bruh, that is a big bitch.
She's huge.
The size of that, bro. She looks like a fucking White Walker out there.
She was huge. I was just like, dude, definitely put her against Cyborg. But now, I guess hindsight 2020, I would have put Megan in against Cyborg immediately. Like, capitalize on that right away.
What sport do they utilize broads in like the 150 to 165 pound range? Because listen, I'm being slightly serious here, because you know what I realized watching Megan Anderson perform and thinking about the lack of depth at 145. It's kind of like heavyweight men. Where are all these big athletic hoes at? They have to exist.
Girl,
WNBA.
Shall we start poaching them out of the NBA or soccer? Like, what I'm getting at is what you're seeing, and we can touch on it with, what was the fucking wife beater's name that had all the success this week?
Hardy.
Greg Hardy. Yeah. Look, big fucking prick can just athletic as fuck. If you get big broads that are athletic, they're going to start giving Cyborg a run for money just because of their size and athleticism. Like, that's what I kind of seen with Megan Anderson, a broad who's big, who's got a little bit of skill, but more than anything is just fucking big and rangy and strong. Like, they didn't stop making broads like that at her. There have to be chicks like that exist out there that are big and athletic. We just need them to want to fight.
The chicks from volleyball, like the Olympic volleyball team, they're pretty big.
Seriously, yeah, man. And they're athletic as fuck. You get one of those broads that like walks around at 160, all muscle, athletic as fuck. Teach her how to throw a jab and a little bit of jiu-jitsu, she'll fuck Cyborg up. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you just need somebody that can fucking manhandle her a little bit. Or even judokas or you know, traditional martial arts broads of those calibers, man. The larger weights. I know there probably isn't a shitload of them, but there's got to be some girls at that size that are going to want to fight, man. Because I swear, I feel like if you're Megan Anderson's size, Megan, whatever the fuck it is, like if you're just her size, you're already looking good. Like if we can teach you a jab and a little bit of kicking, you're fucking in there. You're huge.
No, but like you imagine like LeBron James got into fighting, he'd murder everybody.
Exactly.
That'd be insane.
He'd be a great athlete.
They're right, but Greg Hardy's an athlete. I mean, here's the thing: like you always expected, whatever. I just want to see how that motherfucker takes a ground game or deals with ground game. Someone with a good ground game. But here's the thing: besides the fighting, that's honestly besides the point. A lot of people hating on this dude. Now, justifiably so, by the way. Okay, put his hands on his woman. A lot of back and forth. There was never any charges because you know the victim never stopped cooperating with cops, so they had no evidence, right? A lot of people hating on him. What do you think, Fred, about this whole thing? Because I mean, a lot of people are saying, "Fuck him forever. You should never get a chance." And then there's other sides like, "How far are we taking this thing?"
It's a very, very good question. I was just about to ask you guys the same thing. Beyond his performance, look, man, he's huge. He's athletic. I think we all can agree that he's got a lot of talent and a lot of potential for this sport. Yes, yep. There you go. Okay, that's easy. Mm-hmm. Now, how do we feel morally about this character? This is an interesting topic because I think that we're probably all remotely on the same page with this one, and that we think the thing that he did, or at least was accused of, which he probably more than likely did, was reprehensible. He beat the fuck out of some broad, pretty much, right?
Sure. Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. And I guess I should, beat the fuck out of. I don't know exactly how bad he beat her, but he threw her a nice little beating. It was serious. But how do we feel about that? How long should you be ostracized or punished for something like this? First off, he did not get actually put in jail or prosecuted for it. Now, a lot of people say that's because the broad got intimidated or what have you. She said on the stand that it didn't happen, yada, yada, yada. So, long story short, for me personally, I'm okay with it. Look, this isn't fucking darts or golf or soccer. It's the fight game. It's a little nasty. If Floyd Mayweather can trounce around Vegas making billions of dollars, and countless other cats that have been accused or done this very same thing make money in our sport, then why should this dude not be able to? I mean, listen, he's on a very short leash. Yeah, and if he so much as verbally assaults a woman, he's out of here. But I feel like at a certain point, it wasn't attempted murder. I mean, at a certain point, you got to give a motherfucker another chance, man.
Right. Here's the thing with that, real quick. Here's the thing with that. I put it on this. When I think about Greg Hardy's story, I think about Michael Vick. If you don't know about Michael Vick, he was charged and convicted of fighting dogs and a bunch of other charges. Went to prison. Paid his debt to society. Went to prison. Served out his sentence. Got out. Got on another NFL team, and people came at him like crazy. Okay, like he should, because he did what he did with dogs, and he financed a dog fighting ring and all that stuff. He should never be able to make money in anything again. Okay, what Michael Vick did that I want to see Greg Hardy do. Michael Vick advocated for better treatment for animals, right? He advocated for better for to stop animal abuse and all of this stuff. I want to see Greg Hardy do something like that. You know what I mean? Advocate for better, for to stop domestic violence. Would it be a PR move? Probably, but it would go a long way to let people come back. But if we're talking about how far are we going to take this, I mean, should he not be allowed to ever make a living again? Like, how far are we gonna take it? If he goes, okay, fine. Let's say he can't fight on TV. He can't fight for the UFC. He can't make millions of dollars fighting or whatever money it would be. Okay. Let's say he shows up and he ends up doing commentary on college or a college game day for for college football or NFL Live or whatever. Are we gonna? I mean, he can't be on there either. Okay, fine. Let's not go there. Gets a job as a cashier at a convenience store down the street. You gonna give him shit then too? Like, how far are we gonna take it? How long are we gonna are we gonna, like Fred said, ostracize the guy before we give him a chance to fucking make a living on something?
I feel like Jesse's about to tell us.
I think so too.
I really hope that, Eddie, you understand that comparison is horrible.
Well, by the Michael Vick Hardy?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
I'll tell you why.
Sure.
Michael Vick is a complete monster, and he tortured animals smaller than him. He did it in front of his kids, his own kids, his puppies. He murdered them in front of them, laughed, took joy. He's a monster. All right. He did what he did, and then he paid his dues, however you may want to say he did, and then he got onto another NFL team.
Yeah.
All right. Did I follow his career? Did I buy his shirt? Did I support his team? No. And that's the way that I handled that. Mm-hmm. And that's the same thing I feel about the Greg Hardy situation. I don't like what he did. I don't agree with him being able to come into a sport where, we celebrate people that are martial artists that have respect for other people, like Stephen Thompson, in a couple of his early fights, he would knock somebody out. And instead of going for that last punch, he would hold back with restraint, with respect. That's the type of thing that we celebrate in this sport. And having a guy that didn't have restraint against someone that was smaller than him, weaker than him, just shows the type of person that he was. Could he have changed? Yeah, a lot of people changed. Could he be a better person? Sure. Should he be allowed to make money? If he can, he can. If somebody will hire him, sure. Do I have to watch? No, I don't. And if people don't agree with what he's doing, and if he's in the UFC on a pay-per-view and they don't want to watch him, that's how they vote. They vote with their dollars. That's all. He's allowed to do whatever he wants to do, man. And that's the best thing about this country, right? As any opportunity that you have, whether you're a screw up, whatever happens, you have opportunities to make yourself a better person. And if you are able to make that opportunity and succeed, that's on you. That's how it is.
Let me ask you something, though. And I dig what you're saying. I dig what you're saying. But all things considered, and you're right, but all things considered, how many people you think actually do that shit? How many people you think actually, right? Like, if anything, you probably tune in wanting to see him get that ass whooped, right?
Right.
That's what I thought about when I first thought about this. Like, oh, he used to beat up women, and he's coming in to fight men that know how to fight now. This is glorious.
But here's the thing, Fred. There are people that do that. There are people that vote with their dollars, right? There are those crazy people that didn't watch the NFL. They were all over their social media saying this year that they weren't going to watch the NFL. Surprise! They had the biggest ratings that they've had. Correct?
I don't know, did they?
Yeah, they did. They had pretty good numbers this year. Even though people were okay. No, but that's what I'm saying. Like, there are people that are crazy enough to think that voting with your dollars, voting with your watching is gonna work. That's how I see it. I don't have to watch it, and I'm not gonna watch it. But that's me. Everybody else can, and he can make a living. That's great on him.
Wait a minute. Are you saying that you're literally not going to watch him fight?
Yeah, I didn't watch the Contender Series last night or whenever it was.
Fair enough. But when he eventually makes it to the UFC and he's fighting Andrei Arlovsky or whatnot, you're going to literally watch the card and then turn it when he's in the cage?
Probably.
You're a lying, taco eating motherfucker. Bullshit. Fine. You ain't turning shit. You're going to keep it right there, and you're going to wish to God he gets knocked out like the most of us.
No, I'll just wait for Fred to post the memes afterwards.
Fair enough.
Yeah, that might actually happen. Yeah. All right. Well, all right. Okay, we got a little bit of time left here. We spent a lot of time, 225, so it's not bad at all. Really quick. I just want to know, Fred, was round 5 a 10-8 round of the main event? Oh, right.
Was this the new or the old rules?
Doesn't matter. Just tell me if you thought that was a 10-8 round. If you're sitting in that chair, you're scoring that fight. Mr. Fred Kirby, what is your score for that round?
It's a good question, man. I never really think about scores or rounds. That shit fucking fucks me up. But that was close, man. Man, I'm one of the type of cat. Jesus fucking Christ. I'm one of the type of fucking cats that it's gotta be a pretty good fucking beating. Like you gotta be coming real close to stopping the fight. And I guess there was a couple times where he did.
Twice. He came close to stopping that fight. The ref was over there, like kind of hovering, kind of like a vulture.
Look,
just saying.
I don't know if I would have gave it a 10-8, but I'll tell you what, I wouldn't be mad at it. I mean, it was close. Look, I'll put it like this. By the old rules where you had to almost kill somebody, maybe not. By the new rules where they're kind of giving them out a little willy-nilly, absolutely. So yeah, it depends on what rule set they were. Under the new rules, definitely a 10-8. Under the old rules, maybe not, but it was fucking close either way.
Okay. It was under the new rules, and they were not given a 10-8 in that round. And me and Eddie were talking about that earlier, and I say that it was definitely a 10-8. You could have even argued that it was a 10-7 because Whitaker didn't really do much except survive and almost get finished. So
okay, calm down. Mexicans always get excited. It definitely wasn't a 10-7. That's a unicorn, but you're on the sub with the 10-8. That was probably most certainly a 10-8.
Eddie,
10-8, yeah. Sorry, I'm on Greg Hardy's Instagram post because now I got curious how much shit he gets.
Eddie sounds like we're bothering him and shit.
No,
yeah, 10-8, mom. Jesus, fuck off.
Listen. Like, there's a picture of his of his kid on here, and people are shitting on not on the kid in the comments, they're shitting on him in the comments. Sorry, I'm fascinated by how social media reacts to shit. All right, fifth round was definitely a 10-8. What other
the old social justice warriors coming out to play, acting like they ain't never threw a broad a smack.
Shit, I mean, if they give a smiley,
a joke, everybody, it's a joke. Jesus Christ!
Look, they give smiley ass Aaron Robbins a bunch of hate for saying one word and put a smiley ass face on a fucking Twitter post. Fucking, they're gonna go after that guy. Yeah, look, dude, the fifth round was definitely a 10-8. He had him on skates in trouble. I mean, fucking Whitaker barely survived that round. You know what I mean? Now, I was asking Jesse this. I was like, what do you think? Maybe the judges knowing that Romero missed weight like affected their scoring? Because they're all still human. I think it messed with them a little bit.
Maybe. I mean, like you said, they're human. That's a pretty good point. We're getting artificial fucking intelligence for everything else. That's what we need. Robots.
Judges.
People are always talking about how to fix the fucking judges. You just need 3 really smart robots.
Yeah.
Sign the check to Mr. Kirby, DW.
There you go. Don't worry. You go. Hit up who's the guy from SpaceX?
Yeah, fucking Elon Musk.
Elon Musk. Get Elon Musk.
Let's get on that, Elon. You just fucking teach him everything there is to know about fighting and MMA rules.
There you go. All right. Jesse, I know you have the rankings for it. Let's do one weight class and we'll just do one a show.
Okay. Which one do you guys want?
Okay, whichever one you want, dude. What's the most relevant to this weekend?
Oh, this weekend it was middleweight, yeah.
If you have that one, let's do that one. I'll pull up the UFC ones.
Yeah. Okay, so middleweight, it's pretty interesting. It's a little tough at the top there. But you got Robert Whitaker obviously at the top as the champ.
And real quick, remember we're doing this on Jesse's system that he came up with, which is points for wins,
losses,
certain points for losses, missing weight, shit like that. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, exactly. Hold on, I'm trying to see what the actual numbers were so I could give you what they're. Okay, so Robert Whitaker with a score of 28 at the top. Yoel Romero after the loss still is at number 1 with 23 points.
Okay.
Right underneath him is Lyoto Machida with 23 points. Under that is Weidman. Under that is Jacare. Under that is Kelvin. Then you've got Antonio Carlos Jr., Brad Tavares, Derek Brunson. And I couldn't find anything, so tell me if I'm wrong, but is Johnny Hendricks still in the UFC or is he cut officially?
That's a good question. I don't know. I didn't hear anything.
Because if not, he is there. Johnny Hendricks at number 10, I believe that's what it is. And then Thiago Santos, Elias Theodoro, Tom Breeze, Luke Rockhold, Talis Latis, and Paulo Costa.
I'm looking up with I just basically Googled Johnny Hendricks cut and just talks about weight cut shit. So it doesn't say that he's out, which is impressive that he's still in there, honestly.
Yeah, he's terrible, but I know he was talking about that he was gonna fight back at 170 in the UFC. Blah blah blah.
Oh god, dude,
whatever.
no, he's a fucking light heavyweight at best. All right, official rankings for the UFC champion, obviously Robert Whittaker. Number 1, Yoel Romero. Number 2, Luke Rockhold. Would you have him? You didn't need that. You had him.
Dear God, he's down at. I didn't number it.
All right, there you go. Chris Weidman's number 3. I think you had the same.
13. Luke Rockhold 13.
13. Okay. Chris Weidman's number 3. I think you had the same. Number 4, Kelvin. You had Jacare. Number 5, Kelvin. Who'd you have at 5? Sorry, take it back. Number 5 is Jacare. Who'd you have at
5? 5, Kelvin. Yeah.
Okay. And then who'd you have at 4? You had Jacare. So those were switched. Number 6, Derek Brunson. Who'd you have?
Antonio Carlos Jr.
Right. Number 7, Dave Branch.
Brad
Tavares. Okay. Number 8's Brad Tavares.
Derek Brunson.
Number 9, Lyoto. He's number 2.
Yeah.
Yeah. Uriah Hall's number 10.
Nope, not even on the list.
Okay. Well, there you go. See? Then it's followed by Paulo Costa, Thiago Santos, Carlos Jr., Elias Theodoro, and Christoph Jocko. So, yeah, I mean, we were able to change the scoring, the rankings system, something like this. The rankings would look way different, but I think it would make fighters actually fight well, train hard and everything.
Again, this system rewards people for finishing fights,
right.
For fighting, top contenders, for actually just being an exciting fighter and not missing weight. Again, you get docked points for every pound you are over. That's why if we move over to wherever Mackenzie Dern is, she's so low on the list because of the fact that her last weight cut, she just blew it terribly. But real quick on the 205. Okay, can you go to 205? Because I was looking at this. I checked my math a couple times, and it is the thinnest division out of all the other divisions.
All right, I'll give you the top 10, and then you give me your top 10 at the same time. So, champion Daniel Cormier, you got the same.
Right.
All right. Number 1, Alexander Gustafsson.
Correct.
Number 2, Volkan Ozdemir.
No. I got Glover Teixeira.
All right. Number 3, Glover Teixeira.
Rashad Evans, unfortunately.
Damn. Number 4, Elisa Latifi.
OSP.
Number 5, John Blachowicz.
Rashad Evans?
Yeah. Rashad Evans.
Jesus fucking
Christ. Wait. I'll tell you why. He still won quite a bit in a row. He was a champion, and he fought top contenders, and is only losing to top contenders. And he's only lost in the last couple fights, and it hasn't been that many losses in a row. Surprisingly.
Yeah.
All right, then.
All right. Number 6, Jimmy Manuwa.
Ilir Latifi.
7, Shogun.
Dominic Reyes.
8, OSP.
Anthony Smith.
9, Corey Anderson.
Misha Serkinov.
And 10, Misha Serkinov.
I didn't even put down who 10 is yet.
Holy shit.
Well, because right. His point is that 205 blows, and then DC's basically leaving.
Exactly.
Right?
That's terrible, guys. What happened to 205? I mean,
dead.
John Jones cheated. That's what happened.
Fucking
yeah,
that's what happened. That's
terrible.
it.
It's terrible.
Anderson Silva got old, and John Jones cheated.
It's so crazy because a lot of the guys that they have on their website as 205ers,
right?
Some of them aren't even 205ers. Some of them are heavyweight. Some of them aren't even in the organization anymore. I mean, it's terrible. Something needs to happen there. 205 needs a reckoning.
Oh, 205 needs mad talent, so definitely go pull some. Go get the who'll be 205. Go get some of the taller cornerbacks that got cut, and taller safeties in the NFL that got cut, and talk them into a gym ASAP. Especially the ones that have wrestling backgrounds for sure. All right, maybe some running backs.
If you miss 85 by more than 2 pounds, you're up to 205. We're fucking dry as a bone there.
Who missed that they were talking about sending the 205? Oh no, yeah, Romero 205. That's a stretch.
You got to go 205, bro. Sorry.
Yeah, but that's a bit of a stretch. He's undersized.
No.
All right, whatever. All right, what up?
No. Go ahead. Whatever you were gonna do.
I was gonna say, do you have a question of the week?
Yes, I do.
All right, go ahead.
All right. So, due to the fact that one of my all-time great heroes and inspirational people took his life recently, Anthony Bourdain.
R.I.P.
That was a terrible day for me. My question to you guys is there anybody who has died or is no longer with us, whatever, that inspires you? And what would you say to them if you had the chance?
Do you mean like in our personal life or just like generally speaking?
Whatever you want to do. If you want to go personal, that's fine. If you want to go Aunt Nubby or whatever, that's cool.
Damn.
God, I hate myself for saying Aunt Nubby.
You know, it's funny that you would say that because if I was going to do something like that, I guess I would have to go with somebody that I know. Like, I mean, I guess it's two different things, right? Like if it was anybody, it would probably be like Ali.
Yeah.
Just because it's fucking Ali. And
that inspires you though. This has to be someone that you look up to, that inspires you to do or achieve something, or makes you just bring something out of you. That's what Bourdain did to me as a famous person, because he was just a line chef that saw something, that he saw an opportunity to explore something with food, something that not at that time, not a lot of people really saw as a way to communicate emotions, culture, feelings, and be able to connect with so many people. So to me, that inspired me to just follow, what I thought wasn't something that people thought was important, or didn't see people didn't see the interest in that.
There's been a lot of people that have fucking died recently. So it's hard to really kind of think about that and make that distinction. But I would say, I guess for me personally, it's funny that you say Aunt Nubby, because for me, it would probably be my Uncle Shorty, who had died about, I don't know, 12, 15 years ago, something like that. He probably died when I was like 16, 17, something along those lines. But he lived with us when I was growing up. And most people in my family are really aggressive and physical and not like, I don't know, like artsy or talkers. And my Uncle Shorty was like a big drunk, but he was like a happy drunk. You know what I mean? So he would always like drink his 40 all day long, but he was like super kind of intellectual and was kind of like the old wise one of the family. My dad had 8 siblings. He was the oldest one. So it was always cool to like talk to him about shit. Cause like, whereas most of my family would be kind of like, fuck him. Uncle Shorty would be like, well, yeah, fuck them, but this is why we say fuck them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Everybody else in the family would be like, well, I don't know why we say fuck them. We just say fuck them. Be like, well, this is why. He was the intellectual one. So he inspired me to be a thinker and to try to like look at other sides of shit and to not just be so goddamn crass and physical all the fucking time.
Damn. Are we doing like one person on one like celebrity or something, or what?
I guess that's why it's hard to do. It's hard to pick for me. Yeah. Like that was you know what I mean? Like I almost have to do one and one kind of, because they're different.
Because if we go famous, I can go with Ali. I can go with
because Ali's very inspiring for all the reasons that one would think. I mean, obviously, I don't have to go into the reasons that somebody like Ali would be inspiring, and us being combat sports fans, stood up for what he believed in, denied the war. Ali's a very inspiring cat, but obviously somebody that I fucking knew and actually did talk to and shit.
Like I like Tupac. Like Tupac said, I might not change the world, but I'll definitely spark the mind that changes the world. He said that.
It's a hell of a quote.
Yeah, exactly. Him, Ali, stuff like that. But honestly, like one person, I guess, inspired me to say what's on my mind like at all times, and then just consequences be damned. But to know what I'm about to say before I say it and believe it. You guys remember Patrice O'Neal?
Yeah.
Patrice O'Neal. Patrice O'Neal went on Fox News one time, talking to this lady about a rape joke that someone made, right? And she was like, have you ever heard rape is not funny? Have you heard any funny rape jokes? And Patrice O'Neal was like, yeah, I've actually heard a few. I have a couple. You should check out my special. Like, you know what I mean? And then he went on to explain a donkey punch joke, right? And it was on the Fox News set, and someone starts laughing offset, and he goes, "Why are you laughing, sir? Can't you see she's outraged?" Like, it was. Here's the thing. It was. That's what taught me, like, growing up, because I was a very, like, aggressive cat. Like, I mean, I had fucking crazy anger issues growing up, right? You know, chip on the shoulder, still have it, but I dealt with it physically. Patrice O'Neal, seeing him work, I got really good verbally, to where if I started snapping with people, I could break them down verbally, and it would get them to almost cry sometimes. So shit like that. But he just inspired me, like, look, man, if you fucking believe what you're saying, fucking say it. You know what I mean? And as long as you believe what you're saying, you know, and you understand what you're saying, like, fuck it, go for it. Take a chance. You know what I mean? And then personally, my mom's dad, my grandfather, my grandpa, he was funny as shit, because that dude was like, he was awesome. He was funny, right? And you know, he died when I was like 15. And he was like the one grandparent who I was like super close to, even though he lived in Mexico, but I was like super close to him, right? But that dude was like defiant to everything. If you said let's go right, he went left, right? If you said, you know, I like green, well, I like red. You know what I mean? He just because it was funny to him, and he loved doing that shit for fun, right? But I remember the last time I saw him, this was like 2 months before he passed. We were in Mexico, and I went to go visit him, whatever. He couldn't talk anymore. He couldn't move. He needed to be fed, cleaned, everything. He was basically just like trapped in his body, right? And the nurse, we had a living nurse with him, and she asked me to help her set him up, right? Because he's basically stiff as a board. So I sat him up, and I scooted him back towards the headboard so he could eat. So she gives him a spoonful of soup, and she goes, "Now you better not spit it out this time." And that's the wrong thing to say to my grandpa, because my grandpa makes eye contact with me, looks at her, looks at me, looks at her, and then goes, like, spits it. Just fucking spits it. I died laughing. Like, that dude was defiant to the end, but had like the fucking, he was a hard ass, and he was funny, but he had like the biggest heart of anybody I've ever met in my life. So, like, I miss that dude a lot. It fucking sucked that I lost him so young, but like, that's one dude that I would love to like pick his brain about his younger years, because I never got that chance. But definitely that dude. And like, you know, and like, weird enough, like, even Andy, dude, like, the way that dude was.
I was going to give Andy an honorable mention.
Yeah, like, Andy's definitely one dude that I remember, like, I honestly saved, because I'm just waiting for Twitter to fuck up and like do something about his handle or whatever, because it's still there, I think. But I screen capped and I saved our conversations, and that's like pages and pages of conversation, just me picking his brain about shit. You know what I mean? Telling me stories about when he was younger and all the crazy fucking shit he did and all that.
It's like, it's very strange how people deal with grief. Aaron did the same thing with Andy. Yeah. He kept I deleted everything immediately.
Yeah.
I deleted all the DMs. I just didn't. We used to DM constantly, man, and I didn't want to see it all the time. Like, I'll remember, Andy. I just didn't want to. Every time I got to go to this fucking show, it would have been there in my, you know what I mean? Every time I got to click the link to get in here, I would have seen that DM, and I'm just like, I can't. It fucking fucks with me mentally,
I feel you, man. I feel
you. It's you know, it is unique how people deal with their grief in different ways.
Yeah, I think I look back at it every time that, like, because you know, you get bots and random people start liking your tweet, and I have that one that's pinned on my Twitter page. And someone will like it, and then I'll be like, oh, you know, Andrew Reed, and I'm like, oh shit. So I'll go.
You know what's funny about that?
Look at that.
I think English fucks with me from the other side. I think I've liked that tweet like 42 times. Every time I go to your page, it does. I'll like it again. Yeah. And it doesn't let me keep the heart lit. It's like I like it. As soon as I go away, he's like, no, you don't.
No, you don't. You got to come back, bitch.
That's good. I like that. I'll tell you guys real quick. My person, of course, Anthony Bourdain, like I said, famous. But personally, my father, never got to really experience life with him. He died when I was like 3. But to this day, if I ever meet somebody that ever worked at General Motors or knew him, like they all have great stories about him. Like to this day, like I was working at a grocery store like couple years ago, and I saw an old guy that had like a General Motors like little lapel thing, whatever. And on a whim, I asked him, I was like, "Hey, did you ever know, my father?" And I told him his name, and he goes, "Yeah, oh man, that guy was great. He was always good to like his fellow employees, blah blah blah. How's he doing?" And I was like, "Oh well, he passed away a few years ago." Damn, wow, yeah, he was a great guy. And I get those stories every once in a while. So I really like that's the one person I wish I had more time with and could have met better. So yeah, my father.
Damn.
It's an interesting thing too. On one hand, I feel really bad for you because you didn't really even get a chance to know the cat. On another, I envy you because when I eventually lose my pops, that's going to be one of the worst days of my life. It's almost like it's like a great movie. You just don't. I'm like I don't even want to think about having to go through that, which I inevitably will. It's almost like I wish I'd have just took the L when I was like 3 or 4. That way, I wouldn't have had to really deal with it. Like now, it's going to be a fucking thing. I'm going to fucking probably go on a couple year drunk and experiment with coke and some whores. I'm like that guy that's just waiting for something bad to happen so I can just throw it all in the wind. Like, well, fuck it. Got to smoke crack and bang some whores now. Fuck it. Life done dealt me an L.
Actually, that thought terrifies me, man. My old man is like, he's the shit. Like, legit. He's like the coolest dude ever. And like,
listen, I've seen one picture of your old man, and I back what you're saying based on the one picture. I swear to God, the one picture I seen you post, he looked like fucking Gomez Adams. Like gangster for real.
Yeah, no, he's a shit, dude.
The way I know that Eddie's family is badass is they had a party or something, a house party that Eddie like downplayed one time, and then Eddie posted a picture or a video, and these dudes have like a full mariachi band and everything, and I was like, dude, I thought it was small. You're like, yeah, they left already. Now we're like barbecuing and stuff, and I'm like, God damn, like they do it big for little things.
My parents left the party.
You can tell about a motherfucker by the way they kind of look and dress and shit. I seen one picture of Eddie's dad, and I was like, okay, true. Eddie's dad looks like a type of dude that gets shit done, Jack. Like he looks like a type of character that don't be fucking around.
Oh, absolutely, dude. Anyway, all right, boys. Let's leave on a positive note, a little happier note, I guess. This whole no, I don't even talk about Drake and Pusha T. That's just stupid. Someone was trying to tell me that Drake won. Like what?
I mean, I did like Duppy, but I mean, it's definitely kind of hard to say he won. I mean, I still think that we end up hearing the response track at some point too, though.
We should, but the other guy saying, I forgot who was that. The one dude that said I intervened because of it's gonna get real. I'm like, shut the fuck up.
Jay Prince.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, that dude. Yeah, he's serious business, man. If anybody is still actually watching, we're so far off the rails with MMA now. Dude, if anybody's still watching, shout out to y'all for just fucking with us like this. We're completely off the rails. But listen, if you're still watching and you're into this beef at all, you should go fucking to YouTube and look up a video called "Why is Jay Prince the most dangerous man in hip hop?"
Oh yeah,
interesting. Interesting, man. That's a scary dude. So, but
dude,
look, I want to hear the music.
Mm-hmm.
You're right. The music is great. I heard the story of some actor that played a prank on Jay Prince a couple of years ago.
Oh yeah.
Oh my God. Just hearing that story, I was like, wow, I never knew this guy existed, and now I'm scared that he exists and he rolls around. Like, dear God, that guy's scary.
Like they said on that YouTube video, a Houston Rocket ex NBA player had his chain snatched.
Steve Francis.
Steve Francis, had his chain snatched on stage in Houston, and with one call in a couple of days, the chain was in Jay Prince's hand.
Yeah,
that's fucking real power. Because motherfuckers that are broke on the street are probably like, even if you got a little power, like fuck you, motherfucker. This is a goddamn $100,000 chain. I ain't giving this back to nobody. For that motherfucker to get it, that's like somebody's like, nah, you are giving it back, my dude.
Yeah. Who said that? Jay Prince. Oh fuck. Where's he? I need to give it to him. Like, okay, you get it to him. Fuck that shit. And then fuck. What's the other thing I want to talk about? Oh, shout out to Matt Stodd and all those guys over at High Rollers. There was a tournament this last weekend.
Oh yeah. That's on with the BJJ weed tournament and shit where they like smoked together and then rolled.
Yeah. Shout out to Oscar de los Santos, my teammate. Dude went in there, rocked it. I think he got two. He won 2 fight submissions, and then he lost the last one on the semifinals, unfortunately. But dude, the event was the shit. I got to watch it. We as much as I could on the streams and everything. The videos of the shit. If you go to Matt Stodd's or even High Rollers like Instagram, there's a video. It's a highlight video. The first guy is jumping back and forth with the dreads. That's my guy. That's Oscar. All right, fucking hit that dude up. That dude's he's a future, 100%. But the idea of a jiu-jitsu tournament with just a bunch of stoners, this sounds fucking fun.
It's an interesting concept. I heard Joe Rogan talking about it earlier. I think it was the MMA podcast. Yeah, with Schilling and Strauss on it. Yep. He was just talking about like the connection between smoking weed and Brazilian jiu-jitsu and how like, you know, he's been doing BJJ for fucking 20 plus years. And he's like, it's always been like that. Like dudes will get stoned in the parking lot and then go roll. Interesting, man. It's interesting. But yeah, sounds super fucking cool. If that don't get you in the game, what fucking will.
Hey, and awesome thing for our boy Eddie. He's going to participate in a tournament in NorCal. Woo! Another tournament coming up for free.
So
awesome. That was awesome.
So I'm going to San Fran in July just for his vacation and with my family and I entered one of those like, oh, we're giving away registrations for a tournament. I'm like, I don't win for no reason. I just typed in just for no reason, right? Fucking 2 days yesterday. I get the notification that I won. I'm like, oh, Jesus. So now I'm fighting on vacation, which is cool. I'm looking forward to it because it's kind of like I didn't sign up for it. So I'm like, fuck it. I'm going to show up, fight, and win, lose, whatever.
What weight are you fighting at, Eddie?
I'm probably going to have to go super heavy because I would have to drop 10 pounds in a month, which I can do. But I'm going to be on vacation, dog. I ain't trying to.
I was about to say, fuck, don't do nothing too cute if you're on vacation. Just go up a weight division and take that L.
Yeah, that's what I'm going to do. Look, I'll fight a guy bigger than me, and if I win, awesome. If I lose, fuck it.
What?
Yeah.
I figured Eddie would enter in the Super Taco division.
Super Taco. There you go. Super Taco division.
That wasn't racist at all.
Oh, not at all. But still. Anyway, shout out to everyone in the comment. Oh, Raider is here. What up? John Smith. Shout out to John Smith. A lot of questions from John. Appreciate your interaction, man. So same thing with the Hardcore MMA show. Jeremiah doing the big on YouTube, and I think he's also on like all the audio shit too. Cloud was here. MMA picks with George Tremendous, Uncle Hank. Everyone that joined in during the pre-show Periscope, appreciate it. Shout out Dave Madden. If you haven't gotten your NorCal shirt, go get that shit at Dave Madden, or just fucking search Dave Madden on Instagram, Twitter. Get yourself some of these shirts or shit. I fucking ordered one as soon as I could, and I'm gonna rep for the homie because he's a good.
That shirt's actually pretty fresh too. I like the colors.
It's fucking legit, and it fits really well. Like it fits great. It feels good. So make sure you go get yourself that shit too. Shout out to Represent. You go to the shit. RepTheWarriors.com. Get yourself some gear. They actually have this poster right here for sale. Hats, shirts, everything, man. Represent. Get yourself some of that shit. And SpicePros.com now available on Amazon, and apparently they're doing pretty well with that. So good for them, and they giving them a shout out. And thanks for supporting. All right, follow Kirby at Kirby_MA. Jesse, that's for what? 1980. Fuck 3, right?
Yep.
I'll never get that down. I promise you. That'll never be memorized. You can follow me at Elo31. The page is at Keyboard MMA. KeyboardWarriorsMMA.com. All the videos are on there. Also on iTunes. Fucking everywhere. We're everywhere. Stitcher, everything. All right. So thanks for fucking with us. Rest in peace, Anthony Bourdain. If you have any thoughts of that of suicide, please reach out to somebody. I don't have the fucking hotline number on here. But please get some help. There's no need to go out that way. And then it's gonna do it for us. So good night. We love y'all. Good night, Wilshire.